Street stock feature time, ladies and gentlemen. Two local boys off the front row, off the pole position. Shane Wild with 2 heat wins. Day 4 outside him. Daniel Stanley out of 3. Tyrone Hall. Jonty Barnsby's going to start in the 1-2-4 out of position 5 outside of him. Joey Wilson. Steve Rodley's going to start out of position number 7. Grant Campbell will start out at 8. And then off the back is Reece Jones. And the 78 of Damon Lehman. We lose Sam Larzini with a few minor engine dramas. Didn't want to risk the engine. Timing issues coming up, so... And we're green. Fall and Wild, same old battle as they go down turn 1. They bump each other on their way in. They manage to keep it. Stanley keeps it pegged down to the curb. Fall fights back down this time round as Hall goes around the outside of Stanley as they race it down into turns 3 and 4. Joey Wilson getting up under the underside of Daniel Stanley. Seems to be slightly off the pace this time with a bit of smoke coming out of the 18 machine as he runs it down the main straight this time round. Wild will still leave this one away from Forel and Hall and Stanley as they go through. Wilson makes a mistake off the exit of 2, allows Barnsby to close the gap and Stanley to pull away. So as they come through this time around, it's definitely a racing 2 out the front with Fall trying to chase down Wild. Hall sitting back in 3rd place comfortably. Back to Stanley, back to Joe Wilson. Jonty Barnsby makes a mistake off 2, which allows the 19 of Steve Brodley and Reece Jones in the 411 to close up on the back of him. Hall gets a little bit sideways off the side of the exit of 4. Closes the gap this time around. Reece Jones looks up the inside of Steve Brodley as they come into turns 1 and 2 for another lap down. 15 laps the journey for the street stocks today as Rodley crosses up and Reece Jones shows him the nose once again. Damon Lehman coming up to be a lap down in the 78 machine as Wild gets around him comfortably as they come through this time round. Fall follows him through, but Wild's out in front nice and comfortable this time around. Obviously last year Shane Wild focused on the Proddies when he ran the Proddy title, so Lehman gets a little bit sideways off the exit of 4, 4th and 5th place getters. So as they come through this time around, run around the outside of Lehman. Stanley trying to close in Hall. Joe Wilson balks around the outside of the lap car as the 2 leaders have definitely skipped away. So definitely the race on for 3rd place at the moment. Reece Jones just letting the car carry up the track as they run down the main straight this time around. Grant Campbell just having a few issues with the pace of the car. Shane Wild knocks another lap off the race. Dan Stanley throwing everything he can at Tyrone Hall to try and get back past that 69 machine, the Almore Motors. So as he tries to dive it back deep under the inside now, Tyrone Hall definitely a race on. Stanley lifts. Jonty Barnsby gets sideways on the exit of 2 as they run it down the main straight. Hall gets very sideways and tank slappy. Dan Stanley has to lift. Nalua Tyres, CB Graphics, Wheelans Motorsport number 18. So as they come in this time around, Wilson gives Stanley the high along. Big flame out the back of the Wilson car. That's definitely a rack of some sort come out the back of that car. So as he comes through, Stanley, we're going yellow. Damon Lehman's turned the model around on the back straight. Correct, lights will go out this time. 15 laps of journey with 7 laps down. Just over half race distance. See if Fall stays with him. Wild goes early. Fall's definitely got the jump with him there in the FG Falcon. Stanley will be trying to make a move on the backside of Tyrone Hall. But Joe Wilson driving awesome all night tonight as he's come on starting from the back all night. So we'll drive it into turns 3 and 4 one more time. And still have Wild out in front, back to 4. Hall, Stanley, Wilson, Barnsby, Rodley, Jones, and Campbell. And Lehman bringing up the tail of the field. So Wild lets the car carriers now. Fall starts to close the gap. But Dan Stanley's trying to come through this time around. As he comes in, Jonty Barnsby trying the high line this time, trying to see if he can get around the outside of Wilson. Not quite paying off. Rodley having a moment with the model on the exit of 2. Straightens the car back up. Away you go. Reece Jones jumps on that opportunity and drives around down. Barnsby spins the model around. Keeps it moving. Gets off the track. Stay green. And we're going yellow. G. Stewart Ben Hands is deemed to not be in a safe position. So the 1-2-4 machine of Jonty Barnsby will go to the tail of the field. There's a 3-lap sprint to the finish. So we'll see how this one goes. Let's see if Dave Fall can get up on the back of Shane Wild. He got definitely a better start this time around. Hall misses the start, which balks the field up behind him. Hall starts to smoke with 3 laps left to go. They run it down the back straight this time around. Shane Wild pulled a couple car lengths and away they go again. Jonty Barnsby makes light work of Lehman and through they go. 2 laps left remaining. Be white flag next time around. Stanley just can't seem to get past the 69. Now there's coolant flying out the back of the 69 car and smoke. 2 laps left remaining, or 1.5 left in that 69 car. Wilson gets in the wall. Reece Jones goes infield in a hurry. 1 lap left remaining on this feature race here at the Tyrepower Manjimup Speedway. As they come through, it looks like Shane Wild's going to get away with this one. But Dan Stanley's definitely not giving up as he's going to try and drive it deep into 3 and 4 on the last lap. As he comes in, Hall pushes up. This is Stanley's opportunity. Tries to stick the nose up the inside. Hall makes a mistake. Stanley makes it happen on the last corner. I think the Hall car had actually been dropping coolant and got slippery. Unfortunate. Great drive for Stanley. Stuck the nose in there.